Hey there, welcome to Cooking with Kenny G. Now, it is fall on the West Coast. I'm over on Tofino, and I've heard that there are great wild mushrooms out here. So I'm out looking for wild mushrooms. Look what I found. Beautiful chanterelle mushrooms, already all picked, wild from the forest. So let's get in the kitchen, and I'm gonna get these things cooking. All right, here I am back in the kitchen now, short ferry ride home. I do live on the West Coast, but not the real West Coast. So Tofino's a little bit further away from where I live. Anyway, next day I'm home. Got my chanterelle mushrooms. I am so excited to show you guys how to cook these things up. And good shout out there to Connor and Jesse for the mushrooms. They're the ones who had that little, actually went picking. I wasn't the one who picked them, they just gave them to me. So anyway, super excited, gonna get these things fired up for you. So like I always say, let's grab the apron, grab the knives, fire up the stove, and we're gonna get to cooking up these chanterelle mushrooms. Super easy, gonna be really quick. So let's get after it. I'm gonna run you through the ingredients, what equipment you're gonna need, which is pretty much nothing. And then I'm gonna show you how to cook these things, and then you can enjoy them. All right, equipment that you're gonna need: frying pan. That one's about a 10-inch frying pan. Probably do a smaller one if you're doing a smaller batch. Chef's knife. I got a garlic press here. That's all you're gonna need. Now ingredients, we've got the chanterelle mushrooms. Now you can use other wild mushrooms. PSA here though, if you do not know what you're picking, don't just go out in the forest and grab some mushrooms that look good, okay? These are picked by somebody who knows what they are. And I know what chanterelles look like. So these are fresh. This time of year on the West Coast, they are popping up. Absolutely gorgeous, probably one of my favorite mushrooms. The flavor in these are fantastic. If it is possible that you can get fresh ones, try and get them. If not, you should be able to get dehydrated ones, or you can sub out any other mushroom that you want, but I'm specifically doing the chanterelles here. Chanterelles, not chanterelles. I got some whole butter here that I'm gonna use. Got some fresh thyme that I'm gonna chop up, a little bit of parsley, some chives. I got one shallot and one clove of garlic. That's all we need. Oh, also need some white wine too. Forgot about that. So a little bit of white wine, or you can use a liquor of your choice too. Now I have here, this is Tofino Distillery Old Growth Gin. I use this stuff sparingly. I'd rather drink it than cook with it, but it's really good. Again, not sponsoring me, just love the product. Gonna use it. It also makes really good flames too, so it'll be pretty exciting there. All right, so I'm gonna bring the camera a little bit closer. You can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna cook up these mushrooms. I'm gonna show you one application because it's almost lunchtime, so I'll show you a lunch, if you will, with these. Let's get after it. Okay, first things first, just gonna cut up a little bit of butter here, a couple tablespoons of whole butter. This is unsalted butter. You can use salted butter if you want, but if you do use salted butter, obviously you're gonna have to cut back a little bit on the seasoning when you're finishing it. All right, a little bit of cubed butter there. Get that out of the way. I'm just gonna dice up the shallot really fine. You can use white onion if you want, or red onion. I would prefer not to. Red onion tends to bleed a little bit, and the shallots they've just got a nicer flavor, a little more mild than a white onion. Not as strong, so it really lends itself well to the application of the shallots. Easy cutting here, just have the root end down. This is what's gonna hold it together, and then just very thin. Tip your knife, make thin cuts, cut it halfway, and then just dice it really small. You don't want it too big, otherwise you're gonna be chomping into a piece of shallot, which, you know, as nice as shallots are, I don't think I really wanna bite into a giant shallot piece. And then just garlic. Again, garlic's optional. I like garlic. I think it lends itself well to the chanterelles. Just peel the skin off. Garlic press. There we go. I like to use a garlic press because it minces it up very good. You can slice the garlic if you want, but again, then you've got a kind of a bigger piece of garlic in there that might be a little bit strong to bite into. All right, and then just get these herbs ready. All I'm gonna do is just chop them up. Let's get rid of this, put it in recycling, save the environment. And I've just got a little bit of chives here. These are fresh too. You can use dried, Make sure you cut back a little bit on the dried stuff because it tends to be a lot stronger than the fresh. Not too much chives, it's more for color than anything else because you do have the shallot in there. I've got some thyme here. You can use rosemary if you want. Rosemary is, I like that, a little bit strong, but you can use it, or any other herb too. Sage or something like that if you want that flavor in there. Imagination is your boundary. That's probably enough time for me there. And then just got some Italian parsley here, fresh again too. Just chop that up rough. Oh, got one green onion that we missed there, or one chive, sorry. Just gonna get rid of the stems. I don't really like them too much. The leaves is what I want here. Make sure you wash all your herbs and everything first. Wash them, dry them well. This came out of my garden, so I know what's in them. And just rough chop these. Edge of the knife down on the board, hold it down with your fingers. Keep your fingers out of there. Make sure your knife is sharp, and then it'll cut through those herbs nicely. There we go. That's about all I want. What did I forget? Always present blue scraper. That helps keep that board clean. Give her a little clean, and then I'll get onto the chanterelles. Now it's time to get to the chanterelles. I've got my bowl here. Now the best thing to do with these is just make sure you wipe off any of the pine needles or moss or anything that's on these, because these, like I say, they are fresh. They're from the forest. And then just take the mushroom and just break them apart, peel them, if you will. I don't like to use my knife on them. I like to peel them apart and just make them seem a little more natural that way. I find with a knife, if I slice them, then they just look like a chopped mushroom. So these are pretty sexy this way. So you can just peel them. Just break them into small enough pieces so when they cook, they're not big chunks in there. Again, any pine needles or moss or anything that's on it, that way that proves they're legit too. These are legit wild mushrooms. Any bugs that are in there too. I don't think there's any bugs in this. A little extra protein unless you're vegan, and you don't want to. This is a vegetarian dish though. All right, beautiful. Okay, I've got my mushrooms here. Gonna bring the camera over to the stove. Gonna go to a little POV cookie cook action for you. All right, let's get this done. All right, I've got all my ingredients over at the stove here. Now remember what I call it? Mise en place. So get your mise en place ready. Again, French term, I'm being all fancy and all French and everything. Let's get this pan heated up first. I like to heat up the pan first before I put the butter in there. Just helps the cooking process a little bit. Now I'm gonna put my, I don't know, 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter in there. Not really gonna measure it. It's an eyeball thing here. Remember, we're cooking, not baking. All right. Just stir that around a little bit, get that butter in the pan, melt it down nicely. I like to get the butter almost brown a little bit. I like that nutty flavor in there, but obviously I'm not burning it. And then you can see it starts to get a little bit brown on the edges there. Then you can throw in your shallots and your garlic. Just stir that around. Let that cook out a little bit, let some of those strong flavors release. Beautiful. Starting to brown on the edges there a little bit. I'm going to throw my mushrooms in there now. Just saute those a little bit and just let them absorb some of that butter that's in there. Some of the shallots and garlic get into those mushrooms. Now mushrooms will absorb a lot of liquid, but that's okay. Don't worry about it because we're going to throw in the secret ingredient pretty soon here. All right, those mushrooms are starting to release a fair bit of that liquid that's in there. Oh, that's good. Now, nice hot pan. This is the part here that you can impress your friends with. All right, a little bit of the old growth cedar gin in there. Again, you can use white wine, like I said, if you want to. You don't have to put any alcohol in at all. Let that heat up. Whoa, fire! Everybody loves fire, and a shot for the chef too. Stuff is good. Just gonna burn off that alcohol. Don't worry, we're not gonna start off any fire alarms or anything here. There we go. Put my herbs in there. Give the herbs a little stir, incorporate them well. And then a little bit of salt and pepper. There you go. I've got some nice pink Himalayan salt in there and some fresh peppercorns too. There we go. Looking good. And then if you want, you just give them a little taste and see if they're cooked yet or not. That is beautiful. There you go. That's it. Now I know I promised you a little bit of a presentation. So what I love more than anything else with chanterelles, well, either with just fresh bread, fresh sourdough bread, just dipped on top, it's absolutely gorgeous, or with scrambled eggs, next level scrambled eggs. Just take a couple of eggs, 2, 3, however many you want, however many people you got anyway. I'm just gonna do 2 because I'm feeding myself. I like to do them on scrambled eggs too, just a little bit nicer. So just scramble those up. I'm just gonna put pepper in there because I've salt and peppered these, but I want a little bit of pepper in my eggs. There's enough salt in the mushrooms. Of course, a little bit of that fresh butter. I like cooking my eggs in butter. Just makes them a little bit richer. You can use pan spray if you want, but I like to do mine in butter. Make them rich, and you know what? I'm not eating 1,000 of these. You only live once. Same thing, just get that butter melting down. Throw those eggs in there. Stir them around. I like to cook mine soft. You can cook them any way you want, but I tell you, a soft scrambled egg with these chanterelle mushrooms, you have died and gone to West Coast heaven. If you want, you can put a little bit of cheese in there too. Now I don't, I'm just gonna want the flavor of the mushrooms and of the egg. There we go, good enough. Soft scrambled eggs. Just get the eggs on there. Oh, so gorgeous. And then you can spoon a little bit of those chanterelles on top, or like I said before, you can just eat it with bread if you want. Oh, these are beautiful. Oh, hell. I'm putting them all on there. What the hell? You only live once. Oh, yes. Look at that. So beautiful. I am loving it. Those are ready to go. Now, if you want, you can put your sauce of choice in there. I'm not going to be a hater because I love ketchup too. It's not going to affect these. It's just going to make them way better. Who doesn't love ketchup? There we go. Put a little chef slash on there and make it look beautiful. There it is. Oh my gosh. Scrambled eggs, wild mushrooms from Tofino, a little bit of old growth cedar gin in there. Gorgeous. What a lunch. All right, there you go. Taught you how to cook some fresh, wild chanterelle mushrooms. Again, super easy. Now, if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I think it's down here somewhere. Enjoy those chanterelle mushrooms, and a shout out again to Connor and Jesse for these lovely wild mushrooms, and also to Tofino and the West Coast of British Columbia. Gotta love it. Enjoy those eggs and those chanterelle mushrooms. Chef's kiss. Died and gone to heaven.